Okay, here's question 20 on the higher non-calculator paper. Let's look at this question first, read through the question first. Part A simply says factorize, and they've given me an expression there. I'm actually going to go forward to part 2. Yeah. It says solve the equation, and I've actually got the same expression, but this time equal 0. This is quite a standard format of a question, right? They've used this several times in the past. Factorize means to put it into brackets, so I need to get that into a pair of brackets. It starts off with x squared, so I'll need x and x, because x times x is x squared. Now I need two numbers that are going to times together to give me 27. However, when I combine them, I'll be able to get minus 12. Okay, and that's not too bad, because 27, well, that's 1 times 27, but also 3 times 9 is 27. And if both of these were negative, so minus 3 and minus 9, those two are going to combine to give me minus 12. So minus 3 and minus 9, those two will combine to give you minus 12x. So that's my answer, x minus 3 and x minus 9. Make sure you could do that, make sure you can go through that process. Going straight across to part 2, whenever you solve a quadratic equation, that's when it's all equal to 0. The first thing you need to do is factorize, but we've done that already. So I'm just going to write that down, x minus 3 and x minus 9, but this time all of that is equal to 0. Now the easiest way to think about this is, what value of x would make this part equal to 0? Well, if x is 3, 3 take away 3 is 0, so that's one of the solutions. X is equal to 3. And there's another solution as well, because if I look at this side, I could use the same type of thinking. What value of x would make this whole bracket equal to 0? If x is 9, 9 take away 9 is 0. So that's another value that x could be. X is going to be 9. So whenever you solve a quadratic, you do always get two solutions, right? And the solutions are normally, if it's x at the front, as it is in both of these cases, the solution is the opposite sign to each of the numbers. So in this case, just 3, and in this case, just 9. That's one way of remembering it. Make sure you're okay with this, and make sure you can get full marks so far in a question where you have to factorize and solve a quadratic. Going on to part B, this says factorize y squared is equal to 100. Now, if you are familiar with the difference of two squares, right, the difference of two squares says that a squared take away b squared always factorizes to a plus b and a minus b. Okay, so these two things squared. Well, in this case, we have y squared, but 100 is 10 squared. So you could see now it looks similar to this. A squared minus b squared. So a plus b, a minus b, that's going to be y plus 10 and y minus 10. That's a pretty easy mark, right? You should be quite familiar with this, and this type of question you should be able to go away from it getting full marks. Make sure you look at this a couple of times, make sure you could do it, make sure you can get full marks in it.